After we watch the movie, I'm Mike, he's Jay, Jurassic World, spoiler review, because I mean, we all...
Why not?
Everybody else saw it early, they've all got their reviews up, so let's just talk about what happened in the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to know spoilers, maybe not watch this review. I don't want to lie to you. I like it too much for that.
The main thing is they made a hybrid. It's a T-Rex and a Velociraptor. It is a quick little nutshell. It breaks out of containment, it goes on a rampage to the park. Chris Pratt's character has been training Velociraptors. Like, he can get in there, like, he can dog whisper to them and pet them, and then they respect him. And then this military guy, Vincent D'Onofrio, fucking Kingpin, comes in, he's like, we're gonna use those for military content. He's like, no, but they do it anyway. They're gonna use the Velociraptors to fucking hunt this big thing.
When Jurassic Park came out, it was a one-time thing for the most part, because it's like, oh my god, dinosaurs on film, that's never been done, and done good, and they did such a good job with it. It was such an experience to see that as a kid. And the reason I do like this movie so much, and I'll just go ahead and say I liked it, is because there was moments like when I watched Jurassic Park. Mainly, number one, the experience. The T-Rex, when you watch that still today, you're sitting back there going, holy shit, that's crazy. This movie, it's got its problems, and we'll get to that, but it brings that, man. There was several parts of this movie that I loved about it, that I was actually sitting there like a kid again, and I felt like, holy shit, that was crazy. And they really did pull that off, and you gotta give them credit for that. Huge.
In Jurassic Park, I remember that was my first experience I ever had with shock. Like, I almost fainted, because that part where the Velociraptors attacks the guy in the 20 years ago, I mean, it's crazy, 20 years ago, and I had my hot tamales and they all fell out, and I was like, oh, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But you know what, I always thought Jurassic Park, and the way it was shot with Steven Spielberg, was lightning in a bottle. It was one of those things that you're not going to be able to recreate again, and Steven Spielberg was an amazing director. It was just an amazing cast, it was an amazing script, it was an amazing story, it had perfect pacing. That movie itself will stand alone. Jurassic World, I don't think it lived up to what I wanted it to be. It still was way better than every other sequel that had come after Jurassic Park. Jurassic 2 sucked, Jurassic 3 sucked. This one was really good compared to those two. I liked it, but I felt like there was something missing from it. I don't know what it was. Chris Pratt, when he talked sometimes, I felt like he was Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse. Like, I wanted him to be like, I don't know what I wanted. I wanted him to be a combination of funny and action, but he felt like he was trying to force so much action and to be this powerful, like, dude. I liked him still, I just didn't feel like he was all, like, it was the character that he could have been. And then they had the dude from Let's Be Cops in there, and he was completely misused.
I love that guy, he's hilarious, and I think he's going to be big. I will agree with you on that. I was glad to see him in the movie, and he had a couple okay parts, but he could have been funnier.
Yeah, I think he could have been way funnier.
But I got to disagree with you on Chris Pratt, dude. I loved him in this movie.
I thought he was good. I just felt like there was something missing from him.
I love that guy. I love seeing him on screen. I thought he was perfect for this kind of role. I think he's going to be perfect for that stuff. I loved Chris Pratt in this movie.
I thought it was cool that they showed the theme park finally open, because that's, remember in Jurassic Park, that's all they alluded to, is like this big theme park. And you had little kids, you had rides, you had little baby dinosaurs, you had fanny packs, you had MILFs everywhere. You know that's a good theme park when you're there. And then all of a sudden, like the pterodactyl scene, that was a cool scene when the pterodactyl attacked.
That was so intense and crazy, and it was a spectacle. And that's what I want. When I pay the money to go see this in 3D and RPX or whatever, take my money. When I go in there and I sit down and watch it, I just want this crazy, just like experience to happen. And they brought that for me. That's why I loved it so much. The pterodactyl scene was so intense and crazy, and they really did something cool. The pterodactyls. The one scene where it picks up the girl that's kind of a bitch. She's been watching them.
The British girl.
She's supposed to be watching the kids, and she cares about her.
That was a badass scene.
It picks her up, and it's got some. That scene has some balls in it. I didn't expect that to happen. It picks her up, and then it's passing her around in the sky, and then it's slamming her on the water and under the water, and it's intense as shit.
It's like,
and then all of a sudden, fucking alligator dinosaur guy comes out and just.
It was like fucking Brett Favre was passing Reggie Wayne. Over here, bro. Okay, and I want to talk really quick. Those two kids. No. They shoehorned that shit, that whole storyline in. It felt like, okay, you know what, you're trying to go back to the first one, and what happened with the first one, they get lost in the park, they're going to find them again. It's exactly the same thing. I don't know, and it was like, sometimes those scenes were just so, like, corny.
It felt like San Andreas. It felt like a typical, we've got a summer blockbuster movie, so we're going to put in these generic character arcs. And I did see that, and that's one thing I'll agree with you on this, is that one of the few things I did not like about this movie is that it seemed like they had so much going for them. Like, yeah, they did do a mutation of a dinosaur, and they did take it a step further with that. And yeah, they did add the raptors in there, and Chris Pratt's character, they changed it up a little bit. But for the most part, it seemed like the movie felt hindered because it had to hit the same beats as the original.
You know what? Imagine Jurassic World had been rated R.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. I mean, I know it's for kids, and I'm just saying what they could have done with that.
I was thinking that watching this, like, what if someone just made a horror movie Jurassic Park?
That would be great.
Like, it was Jurassic Park, but it was a horror movie. Like, it was nasty, and it was fucked up and crazy.
But I love that, dude. I mean, how can you not have a Jurassic Park? Dun, dun, here we go. Here the dinosaurs will go. Like, you just want that song.
No, I'm glad the music was in there, too. And the thing is, the last bad thing I'll say, I want to go to the positive stuff personally for me, but the last bad thing, what I did not like about this movie, for me, was Well, I thought Chris Pratt was a 10 for me. I thought that the special effects were, that even though they relied a little bit too much on CGI, it was a little too CGI-ish at times, the special effects were a 10. They were amazing, and I thought that every time they had one of those spectacle scenes where something crazy is happening, they knocked it out of the park. It was really intense. But every other time, like if Chris Pratt's not on screen and the crazy dinosaur shit's not on screen, I was kind of bored. Okay. I will say though, Bryce Dallas Howard, I didn't like her the first half of the film. The second half of the film, she got kind of cool, and she looks good sweating.
She's hot.
She's sweating. I mean, she is like sweating.
Mary Jane.
And she's hot when she's sweating.
Mary Jane.
And I ended up liking her as the film went along, but there's no Jeff Goldblum in this. I mean, Chris Pratt was
wouldn't
great.
it be cool to have a cameo of Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, I think Jeff Goldblum would have been in it. I think you're missing that. Like, Jeff Goldblum was kind of a deep, strange, original character, and I think this movie kind of missed that. But just to tell the truth, I didn't care about any character in this movie except for Chris Pratt, and towards the end, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Chris Pratt was obviously the anchor.
This movie in a nutshell is basically that. It's the creator of the park who the movie felt like it wanted him to be something special. It's something that you really, you know, grab onto.
Yeah,
and you don't care, and it's whatever. But then, when his death scene comes and he crashes into the pterodactyl plant and all the pterodactyls flying out, and then the mutated T-Rex guy is in there fucking shit up, it's like, that was badass and amazing!
Yeah.
And it just like, that's what this movie did. It would go into this thing and it would try to force shove these characters in and throw it, and I didn't care, but I didn't go to the movie for that anyway. So what I'm saying is, the reason I give this movie such a high rating is the scene where the T-Rex, what do I want to call it, the amalgamation, the mutated dinosaur.
The Velociraptor.
Yeah, the Velociraptor is chasing the kids. That scene was amazing, it was intense, and then when he goes to bite him off the waterfall and he barely misses him, dude, I was sitting back in my seat with my butthole tight like the first movie. And it gave me that. So that's exactly what I wanted going to the theater for this, so they nailed that.
The raptors, when they were chasing them, that was fucking awesome. That was a great sequence right there. And even when Chris Pratt was on his motorcycle with the Velocities and they were getting ready to hunt this thing, that was cool too. And I didn't like, at the end, when you had the T-Rex, because he said, "We need more teeth!" And they go and get, that was cool. I knew it was coming. It was predictable as fuck. You knew the T-Rex was going to get involved at some point. She goes and opens the gate, the T-Rex comes out, has a big fight with the Velociraptor, and then all of a sudden you have the other raptor jumping on, they're teaming up to fight this thing, and then they, like after the big, that was a cool scene, when they push it to the water and this big alligator monster takes it down. That was great. But then you have this moment where the raptor and the Rex are looking at each other. They're natural fucking enemies. I mean, God, they're fucking dinosaurs. They're looking at each other like, I understand you. I understand you.
Yeah.
And they walk off. And then Pratt's like, and then it looks over at Pratt and he's like, and it's like, I felt like at the end it was going to have a big projection behind him and it's going to say JW and it was going to have the raptor and the Rex running out like in Batman Forever towards the camera.
But that's, again, this movie in a nutshell. You got this bad character sequence where this kid's like, we need more teeth. And you're like, what? And then all of a sudden she can just outrun a T-Rex on foot.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. But what that ends in is so badass that who cares? I totally got my money's worth out of this film. I freaking loved it. I give it an 8.5, like a strong 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It's not a movie for me. I don't know if it'll be entertaining to rewatch over and over and over again. I think it's a movie that you should definitely go see in the theater, pay the money, see the fancy theater, get the full experience out, because that's the best way to experience it for sure. Because it's a spectacle. This movie is a ride, and it's meant to be a ride, and at times I felt like a kid again, so I gotta give this movie love for all its problems.
I'm gonna give it an 8.0. The reason why is, again, maybe I went in with high expectations. It didn't recapture what Jurassic Park was, and maybe no other film ever will.
It touched its teeth.
It touched it with the panties. If you made a fucking spaghetti, and you're like, it's so good, yes, and then you like, it's kind of, there's a spice missing, and I can't find it. But it was like, but it's kind of like that.
I think that was, I think that's you tasting studio involvement.
Really did feel exploitated. You know, it felt like you know, and that was all.
Taking a drink of the Coke.
Yeah, I mean the Pepsi
and the Apple Watch
and the fucking Mercedes Jeep and shit like that. I mean, well, they just pull up Verizon.
It was cool that they threw in the old Jeeps though.
Did they even put in Jimmy Fallon? Like Jimmy Fallon was in for. I mean, really, Jimmy Fallon? I mean, I like Jimmy Fallon, cool, but I mean, come on.
Steven Spielberg movies, they had this special thing about them where they could feel like a blockbuster, but it wasn't a retail blockbuster. It was like, this is just amazing and it's fun. It's the special summer feeling that you had, and now it's like they're trying to recreate this special, fun, amazing feeling you had. But I gotta say again, the movie, at times the movie broke through that. There were certain scenes in this movie that were just amazing and fun and a blast to watch.
Jurassic World is definitely the sequel that should have happened after Park, not the other two.
Yeah.
Maybe Jurassic Park is one of those movies that you'll just never catch back again.
I also think though, for kids though, who never saw
Kids will love it. Like,
what did you guys think about Jurassic Park? What did you think about Chris Pratt? How do you think this stacks up to the original? Comment below, let us know, guys. Until next time, I'm Mike, he's Jay. Click like, comment, subscribe, share on Facebook, because that helps a huge buck. Share on Facebook, because that helps a huge bunch. And until next time, guys, click the subscribe button and get some wham up in you.
How you like it?
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.